Whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you are right. This is one of my favorite sayings, because a lot of times we approach something that's very difficult for us, or has been something very difficult in the past, and we look at it as this big unsurmountable task. And if we have failed in the past or failed multiple times, this is going to be a big challenge for you. So one thing I've noticed with people who are looking to lose weight, and if it's been their first time and they're like, oh, I need to start losing some weight, and they're trying and everything like that, they don't normally have a belief set in their mind already that they can't possibly do it. But when I have people who have had kind of what I call diet damage, not only metabolically but mentally as well, they have a hard time believing that they can actually make this happen. And one of the biggest challenges that I find I have is to keep them emotionally and mentally stable every time they step on that scale if they don't see the result that they think they deserve. So when I say that, that means a lot of people think that simply because their body made changes, they made changes to their eating, they're starting to work out now, they're making quote unquote the payments and the sacrifices, that therefore the scale should respond day after day, or at least every other day, or at least maybe one time a week they should see something happen on the scale. So they're putting more belief in the scale than they are themselves. So in other words, they're using the scale as proof that something is happening, and if the scale says that something's not happening, then they believe it's not. Okay? But what you need to do, and some of my clients are really good at this now, they've overcome what the scale says and they trust in themselves. This is a huge part of the process, is trusting in yourself that you are doing the work, trusting in yourself that the process is happening, trusting in yourself that your body is not broken, trusting in yourself that you have the capability to make any change that you want to make. And so many clients find themselves being defeated over and over and over and starting from square one every month, simply because, and it really starts with the fact that they don't believe it could happen. And that deep down belief that it can't happen causes them to have moments of sabotage. Maybe they'll say, oh, forget it, screw it, I'm just going to have whatever. I'm just going to go out and I'm just going to have whatever I want this weekend. Okay, but that weekend could have been the time when maybe the next week they would have seen that whoosh, that scale whoosh that I talk about, where the scale does miraculously just drop 4 or 5 pounds. Okay, but when they doubt themselves and they don't believe that it's actually possible, and they use too many situations such as the scale's not moving, this isn't changing, this isn't happening, nobody's saying anything, things don't look any different. Sometimes their expectations are quite unrealistic. Some people have been overweight, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds for quite a long time, and they expect within a month to have some amazing results. Some people do have some pretty significant amazing results, and some people don't, but it's not because it's not working. Okay, and some people, they may have results physically, okay, but their body may be building tremendous amounts of muscle in that time frame, so it's going to kind of offset the scale. But what has to happen here at this moment is you have to really look at yourself and take a good, honest look and say, am I really doing the work? Am I doing it all? And a lot of people here are doing the work. They are really 100% doing the work and getting results. And if that's happening to you, that is phenomenal. But one of the things you have to make sure, because the results are going to slow down, okay, and that's when you can't let your psyche get into changing your thinking. Okay, so if you let that happen and you start thinking like, oh, it's not working, that whole quote unquote it's not working thought process is going to do more damage than you will ever know. What you have to do is say constantly to yourself, and whether it be a mantra, whether it be something that you journal, however it is that you get yourself in a good mindset, you have to believe that it's working, I'm doing the work, my body will respond. it's working, I'm doing the work, my body will respond. And constantly look for other little things that can help improve your metabolic rate. You know, whether it be taking your blood sugar, whether it be, you know, keeping a good track on your thyroid, whether it be making sure that you're getting enough sleep, drinking enough water. All these little things add up to success, okay? But the one thing, I can't give anybody the magic formula, because if I give somebody this quote-unquote magic formula, if they don't believe they can do it, they still won't be able to do it. I can give them 100% the absolute solution, but if deep down they don't believe they can do it, it's just not going to happen for them. So if there's one thing I can remind you of every single day, you have to make sure that you believe you can. If you believe you can, it will happen. If you believe it won't, it won't. So basically, it's your choice.